Hello and welcome to another episode of the HOOT. Today I'm joined by Lagoleth and Rosser again. Today we're going to discuss all things Overwatch, looking at new games and discuss how the Owls have done in the week as well. First off, Jake, do you want to explain what's happened in the week?
So with like the GCS Owls and all the teams, they've been doing really well and improving. I think GCS had
Yeah,
their hardest game. Well, Team One had their hardest game yesterday, being against Belfast Mare, and it showed that they are improving extremely well and how they can like have a good fight and still pull out at the end a great win.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. Being there, we knew when groups got announced this was going to be our toughest game. We didn't let that get to us. We just powered through and said if we really try our best, we can win this. And we kept energy high the whole time and managed to pull through.
yeah. Because I've got the graphic up on screen now, and it looks like it's comfortable 3-0, 3-0, but it was tough. I remember
Yeah,
being with Team 2 yesterday, and I was jumping up and down because it was so close. And I think that third game, if they'd have taken it, Hailstrom, if they'd have taken it, I think they could have reverse sweeped us, I think. But also, again, when I heard that Team 1 were possibly struggling, or Belfast were giving them a good game, again, I panicked again.
yeah, definitely good games all around. Do you know much about the Valorant games yesterday?
I didn't hear much of the Valorant. As you can see on the scoreline there, 13-1, 13-0. Our Valorant teams are doing very well. I think the Ninos game yesterday, I think the other team just didn't show up. But
Mm.
Taito, yeah, did very, very well and won very, very well. So good result. Again, Rocklet team, third week in a row, 5 games, 5 wins. So really, really impressive. Really, really good.
Yeah, just great showing all around from every team really, and we should be
Yeah,
able to keep it up for the rest of the group stages.
hopefully,
Yeah.
yes, hopefully, yeah. So one thing we're looking at as well, obviously with Overwatch, we're looking at the new hero Ramatra. So we've got a couple of graphics, new skins for Ramatra here. What do we think? Are we getting excited for the new hero, guys?
Yeah,
Definitely,
so
yeah.
was it with Blizzard like announcing that I think it was on Sunday there'll be like a gameplay trailer for him, similar to what they've done before, was showing like how the character will play in game. Because we know his abilities in his brawler mode and in his a passive like poke mode, where he's gonna have like a shutdown where like he can bring I think it's flying targets down to the ground,
Mm.
which would be good like as a crowd control ability mainly, like a slow in field. So it's like he's going to be an interesting character to play and watch, especially when he gets added into Overwatch. And then he's played in like BC where we could see him on certain maps. I think the best map he might be on is either Control, like an Ilios, where it's very high ground but also brawly, or like Payloads, where Sigma is like dominant. Like it'll be like a mix of like Doom and Sig, where he's able to poke but also able to dive in and get like quick value.
Yeah, I can definitely
Yeah,
see him just replacing Sig in pretty much every element. He'll be able to just do the poke and the brawl, anything you need really. In the same way some teams will play like now with the monkey brawl or in the past with like a Rhine brawl on payload. Ramatra can replace that now and he can replace the Sigma poke and just be like an all round good tank really.
Hmm.
so
Have they said anything about cooldowns?
No, all we know is what the cooldowns are at the moment.
Ah,
do you think a lot
gotcha.
of the top teams, Overwatch teams, will use Ramatra in their comp, or is it just another one for just the
I
average
I
player to
feel like
use?
I feel like he'd be useful in very like I feel like he's gonna be like a Sigma type of character. Where even though the meta is very much this was it banana type they're calling it with like or like banana rush. Still on payloads, people are playing the Sigma double sniper because there's too much space for the Winston to jump in. So like I feel like Ramatch is gonna be like one of those gimmicky like specific characters where he's not gonna be like a meta dominator. Just like every so often he's gonna be a valid pick.
Yeah, I think the opposite. I think there'll
Yeah,
be situations where Ramatra can just dominate a map. Like on maps like that with the payload or whatever, I think it will be a situation where he can take full advantage of the map and be the best pick rather than a sort of niche pick that you
mm.
could do.
Mm.
No, it would be cool to see Ramatra in action, obviously, and we can't wait until the new trailer. When's the new trailer again, guys?
sometime on the
26?
weekend.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's the 26th, isn't it?
27th.
Yeah.
I know they released a roadmap for it.
Yeah,
So-
that'd be cool. That'd be cool. And a lot of people are advertising about it, so that's gonna be really cool. Anything else about the match, guys, or should we move on to the next topic?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, if we can just move on.
We're good.
Next topic, we're looking at obviously new games. One of the recent more games to come out is Sonic Frontiers. This is totally new to me. Obviously, there's been hundreds of Sonic games. But what are your views on this, guys?
I think I'm going to be mainly talking about
Yeah.
it because
The audio game.
yeah, no, because I was like a Sonic addict from when I was young. But like, recently, like a lot of Sonic games have been like up and down, where the reviews are like kind of good, kind of bad. This one, it feels like it's not like perfect. It's not like the new best game, but it's a step in the right direction with how they portrayed the characters, the gameplay, and everything. Like the whole, they like form in like the new world for this character. So it's like, it's obviously got its flaws and its bugs, but it's a really good step in the right direction. And the music's it's just Sonic. It's always got good music.
Yeah, Sonic music is always good, yeah. And I remember you saying about the boss battles being really buggy before,
Yeah.
weren't they?
It was less like buggy, and it was just more like you have to actually like, they're different to old Sonic bosses, but like you have to, it's more like combat, like Devil May Cry and Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah, because I know I watched you do one of the bosses and you were there for a good few hours, not even understanding how it worked yet. Googling up.
Like
Yeah.
parrying and actually attacking.
Yeah, because
Yeah, what?
Oh, sorry, go on.
No,
No, I remember watching a review of Sonic games like a good few months ago, and they were saying that of the originals were amazing, the 2D ones, and then they came out with new ones, and some of them were just awful, and then some were amazing. Where does this rank up, Jake, with all of the games?
I wouldn't say it's like top of the top up there with like Generations, which is why everyone says like one of the best games, or like the best game on Adventure 2. But I'd say like it's near the top, probably like at least top 5. But it's like, it's now where do they take the game forward, because they've got a new story writer for the game, being like the guy who used to write the comics. Now he's been told how to write like what you can do with the games, and everyone likes the comics. So it's now what he can do in the future with these characters to see how far you can push it, really.
So
Generations is a good one. That was the one I would always play.
So to anyone who hasn't played it yet, what's the purpose of the game? What's the is there a story behind it, or?
Yeah, so it's like basically Sonic and his friends go to this the like power emerald, like the Chaos Emeralds, are reacting to these new islands. So they go there, and then his friends get stuck in like cyberspace, which is like a place between reality and like the digital world, where it uses your memories to generate areas. So like a lot of these cyberspace levels they've got the map structure of older games. So for like old like Sonic fans, they're gonna enjoy it because they will remember like certain like locations. And it's got a lot of like so it's like you have to go through different islands rescuing your friends, and then like getting the emeralds and fighting these big like bosses. And it talks about like the story and how in the past there was like an alien war, and how it like relates to like the game. And then there's a final boss at the end which kind of like links everything together, and it kind of makes sense, and it's a good ending.
Okay, cool.
I do really like that. They're sticking to their roots with the old thing, but also moving forward with the new story. Yeah, I might have to try that. I'll be excited to see what they do in the future, if that is good.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's something I might have a look at myself, because obviously the last Sonic game I played was Sonic 3, is it?
The
old 2D one. I never completed it, but but yeah, worth having a
How's
look.
time, maybe?
So that sounds good. Another game we're looking at talking about is something that's new out at the moment is God of War. What? Oh, Morgan, that's you.
I put that one on the docket. That's a game I've been looking forward to for a very long time. It's the sequel to 2018 God of War, which was sort of not like a reimagining, but like a fresh start for the God of War franchise from the late 90s, early 2000s. And it is, the first God of War in 2018 got Game of the Year. It is at that level again this year. It's like a perfect continuation of the story. In the essentially the story of God of War is Kratos, the Greek god, was very ruthless to the Greek pantheon. Was a mindless killer, and so in 2018 God of War he looked out for a new life in Norse mythology and tried to put that life behind him and be more of a peaceful man. But certain gods didn't necessarily let him do that,
Okay.
and it all sort of culminates here in Ragnarok, where he wants to live uh, a good life with his son. He wants to survive and not really be a killer. But people like Odin and Thor, they are very worried about Ragnarok happening, and they see Kratos and his son as a threat, and are worried that they're going to kill them basically, and it forces this old past out of him that he does not want to appear.
Okay. Yeah.
That's sort of the general idea
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of trailers, obviously, with God of War and of the original game, and yeah, he is very, very strong, very vicious, isn't he? So, is he?
Yeah.
Is it obviously type of game? Is it different story modes, or is it a case of different levels and so on? To anyone who hasn't played the game yet?
It's just an entirely open world. Really, you have
Open world.
in the first game, it's based around the nine realms of Norse mythology. So in the first game, you would travel across Midgard,
Yeah.
and occasionally
Yeah.
travel to a couple other realms, Alfheim and Helheim, a couple of them. In this game, however, you have access to all nine of the realms,
Okay.
as it's just a war across all realms. Really, you get to explore in depth of every single realm.
Sounds like Thor from the Avengers, really, but yeah.
He's a very different guy. Very different guy. Big
big fat
big
man.
guy. Yeah.
So,
Big fat man.
actually,
Massive ginger hair.
oh yeah. Talking about that though, would win between Thor and Kratos?
Oh, I don't want to spoil anything. The game does open with a fight between the two of
Oh,
them.
okay, interesting. Yeah.
It leaves
Okay.
massive, big connotations throughout the entire
Okay.
rest of the game.
So something to look forward to. A lot of people enjoy playing.
Yeah, it was a very good game. I'm
Okay.
very happy with it. I've been waiting for it since. Well, the game came out in 2018, and they announced they obviously teased the sequel that day, that time. I hadn't actually played it until 2020,
Okay.
but I can see how it was such a big game back in the day, and I was
Mm.
very excited for it to come out this month.
Yeah, that looks good. That's good. Yeah, that sounds very good. Another game that obviously looking at coming out, well, has come out really, is Pokemon. Am I correct saying Scarlet Violet? Is that
Yeah,
the
Scarlet
correct one? Yeah,
Violet.
yeah. I've seen a lot of talk on Twitter and on social media and so on. Jake, obviously, you're the Pokemon guy. You got Gengar there. Very
Yeah.
good. What's your review on this game?
I think it's probably one of my favorite Pokemon games that they've ever released.
Okay.
Because so there's like a lot of people have been complaining on Twitter because there's the game, it definitely needed more time in development. Because it's released by Nintendo, but it's made by Game Freak, which is a smaller company inside of Nintendo,
Okay.
and they split the team into two. So a team of like 170 staff split into two to work on two different games. So
Okay.
the games are very buggy, but it's like they're not like huge game breaking bugs. It's more like minor graphical bugs with like
Yeah.
maybe this Pokemon is reacting weirdly to the environment because they didn't test it. But as like an entire game, like from like the story to the characters and how the characters develop through the story, you slowly begin to realize what like certain characters want to do. Like I'm gonna say, Arvin is one of the biggest characters in the game, and how he develops as a character, going from someone you dislike to someone who you can be like, I feel sorry for this guy.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna spoil anything because the game came out a week ago. But yeah,
I
it's
mean, you've already finished it though.
I finished it. I've got
You've
like
finished the game. You have all the Pokemon.
I completed the Pokédex. It's got like 7 shinies. I've got around 60 hours in the game. You know, it came out last week.
I have like 30 hours in God of War. You're all good.
That's dedication.
Me and a few people like Kane, Lucas, who used to play on Queen Mary's, Ludenob, and Mero in the light guns, we all like group up because you can group up and play the game together. So we
Okay,
usually
sounds
group as a
good.
team of 4, and we like just mess around in the open world because there's so much you can do in it where you can like just walk around together. You can like battle gyms, you can battle other trainers. It's like the games are incredibly fun, and I want to see them do more of it because they're gonna release DLC for the game, which is gonna allow even more fun for the game in the future.
What's sort of stuff's coming in the DLC?
There's like you can see on the map if you look on it in the top right. There's a blurred out area
Okay.
looks different. It's dotted it out.
Yeah.
So like and also in the code they found a key for has event or like has DLC that you can
Yeah.
So like it's basically confirming DLC without confirming it.
It's buggy. How many bugs have you come across?
Not even that much. Like
Huh?
only a few. Like but it's like a bugs where like sometimes my Pokemon's glitched in the ground or my camera's a little bit too low so I see under the map. But it's like it's not much where like this game is broken. I want a refund. It's not like that.
No, yeah, because that's the main thing I heard about it. Is that it's a very buggy mess, a fun buggy mess. So it definitely
it's like buggy, but it's playable. And a lot of the new Pokemon added are like really like nice designs. You've got stuff like they've taken old Pokemon and then they've either put them in the past or put them in the future. So you've got like robotic Pokemon or you've got like prehistoric Pokemon, which look really unique and different compared to other mons added.
I heard there was a Pokemon that was dog bred.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's called Fido. It is a small puppy that is made out of dough, and it evolves into I can't remember its evolution, but it basically evolves into a bigger dog that has now been cooked. So it's like a little bit of it's like a
Okay.
I like it.
Okay, that's well, yeah, because I saw a lot of news of my Pokemon. I thought, oh, it's just another Pokemon game, but as you said at the start there, Jake, is it one of the best Pokemon games you've played?
With the music, the characters, even the Pokemon, like they decided to add a lot of like. There's a Pokemon basically for everyone now. There's over 1,000 in the entire franchise, and in this game, one of my favorite ones is a small little like ghost dog, but he's got a little candle on his head. His name's Greavard.
Yeah.
And his like story is sad because basically it was a dog who passed away, but he had no love when he was a normal dog. So if anyone gives him attention, he will stick to that person forever. They've said.
Oh, fair play.
I want to play Pokemon now just for that dog.
There's a few Pokemons like is it Quaxley?
Quaxley the dog,
yeah. He looks like a funny little guy, doesn't he?
Because you get to pick at the start either the duck, the cat, or the dinosaur. And the dinosaur's the most popular one. Even I picked it because it's just the most dumb looking.
Yeah, he's a little choppy guy, yeah.
He has not a single fault in his brain, and he's just an amazing looking creature.
Alright, because obviously with me personally, I know of Pokemon. I know the old guy, obviously. I used to watch Pokemon. I used to watch Ash and Brock. And I can't remember the girl's name. Christy.
Yeah.
And I remember the episode when Brock left, I think, and then that was it then. I don't know, I stopped watching for some reason then. That was like probably season 2 probably, is it, doesn't it? Early on?
Yeah, Brock left you left like midway through the season, so like this was 19 seasons now, the anime.
Blinking heck. Wow, that's a lot. And it just keeps growing.
Biggest franchise in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the highest grossing franchise.
That's it.
Disney. It's dumb because you've got 1,000 creatures. At least one person's gonna like at least one creature. You get me?
You might not even like Pokemon. You might just be in a store and say, "Look, duck."
Yeah.
I want it. Yeah.
No, that's cool, and I look forward to hearing more. Talking about glitches earlier, actually, Jake. I saw one on TikTok, I think, and someone did something on the screen, and the character just went absolutely humongous. He was covered on the screen.
The skeleton. It's like the character skeleton breaks on the.
But as I said, it'll take time to fix and so on. It'll be fine, obviously. That's pretty cool. So obviously, one topic again we go look at in this episode also is the esports awards, the game awards. What's big in the games awards, guys? What's catching your attention?
Pull up the list here. Actually, I mean, the main thing I want to win is God of War. I've just explained why for the past
Mm.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't think it will though.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to go up against Elden Ring, which is like the game that
Yeah.
everyone was like
Yeah.
Yeah.
ramping about midway through the year. So
Yeah, it came
yeah,
out what, January, March?
early this year, I know it came
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
and
yeah.
people are
Yeah.
still like ramping about the.
I
Oh,
think
February.
I think
Okay.
because it came out so early in the year, I think because it's so good, it has tested time, and obviously the awards are in December. It shows how good a game it is that it has lasted that long.
Yeah, it's
Really.
like
Yeah.
I'm on it now, and for the actual like game of the year, they've got 6 nominees being A Plague Tale: Requiem, which I'm pretty sure is the sequel to A Plague Tale,
No,
Elden
never
Ring.
heard about him.
Plague Tale's a good game. I played it a little bit. God of War: Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, which is the indie game where you play as a cat, which I've seen people playing. It's actually
I
nice.
couldn't get into it. I tried it. I couldn't get into it.
It's weird, the world is, and then you've got
Yeah.
Xenoblade, which is Xenoblade's interesting because I like a lot of like the Nintendo games, and Xenoblade I've never gotten into, but I know the music goes like extremely hard in Xenoblade.
Yeah, I've never played a Xenoblade, but I know they're popular. It's like
Mm.
like a strong Nintendo franchise.
Yeah, it's one of the best looking, and I think one of the key points in Xenoblade is they try and avoid American voice acting. They go
Really?
very much into like the British and American actors,
Mm.
which is interesting. Like in the Xenoblade Chronicles 2, one of the main characters, I think her name is Mia. She's Welsh. She is,
No way.
and she
That's
speaks with like a
cool.
heavy Welsh accent, going like,
Yeah.
"Oh bloody hell, man!" in like the game.
That's pretty cool,
So
isn't it?
it's like
Yeah, that's
it's
pretty
weird,
cool.
like hearing a Welsh like character in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Most people shouldn't act. It's weird.
Just
Yeah.
have a chat to me. That's pretty cool. So obviously,
Yeah.
game of the
I,
year awards. So what do your picks, guys? Obviously, Morgan, you obviously want God
God
of
of
War
War. Yeah,
to.
I'm really sad about God of War. I didn't think God of War would make it into Game of the Year this year. I assumed it'd be too late. It
Mm.
came out the same week nominations got released, and that is not enough time in my opinion. I get that the critics have had it before, and it's about what the critics think, but it hasn't had time to build up enough steam over the year to
Yeah.
take down Elden Ring.
To obviously someone or maybe the audience, obviously Overwatch 2 released this year.
It's
Why isn't
on
that?
Yeah, it's on some of them.
Yeah,
It's in some
so
of them, is that okay?
Game Awards has like 30 different categories, and it's
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Overwatch
yeah.
2 is in best ongoing
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
the
No, because I see a lot of the big teams are going up for awards as well as best content creators, best shoutcasting and so on. So it's a really prestigious award, and lots of things to win on it, really, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean half the nominees for like half the categories are just God of War. They have
Yeah.
like best score, best art direction, I think maybe best narrative.
It's like
Both the
best score and
main
music.
Yeah.
both the main characters are up for like best acting.
And,
God
and,
of War is going to
I'm
take home a
annoyed at
lot.
best score and
yeah,
music.
and obviously you think of the games nowadays and the graphics that are used, and it's amazing, isn't it? You look at some of the gameplay, and it's just absolutely stunning. You just almost forget about playing the game almost. Just walk around and just
Yeah.
see how realistic it is.
Horizon Forbidden West, what I'm interested in. Because earlier this year I played the first Horizon, and I did really enjoy that. I sat down for a week, and I just played through the entire story, and it's really fun. It was around the time actually the sequel was coming out, but I haven't actually played that yet, and I wouldn't mind giving it a try. I hear good things about it, so it'll be exciting to see how it does at the Game Awards, I guess.
I think one thing is in the best score and music section of the Game Awards. I think it's kind of robbery how Sonic Frontiers isn't there, because that game's music is like nuts, especially when you're against like the bosses like Giganto, Wyvern, and Knight. I'm not gonna say the other bosses' names because that's the final end game, but like those three like early games. So, but their music is like very much like heavy metal, like on rock, and
Oh, wow.
it's dumb how good it is.
Nah, doesn't matter. Still wouldn't beat Bear McCreary and his God of War soundtrack.
I have to admit something on stream, but obviously I'm a big Overwatch fan. Obviously I'm wearing a Guangzhou hoodie, but recently I've been listening to a lot of Valorant music, and it's absolutely fantastic.
It's Riot, isn't it? Who
and it's really
they
really
go
catchy.
to
And,
league.
driving up to Epiclan and in the car with Dan, just listening to Valor music was just absolutely, wow, that's so catchy.
Yeah,
and
I've seen Dan listen to Valor and stuff.
yeah, it's really, really catchy, really, really good.
Nice. Give it a try.
No, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see who win the Game Awards. Obviously, December the 8th, I believe it is. So yeah, so
14 days, it says on the website.
Yeah, December 8th.
quite soon, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So God of War.
yeah, well, hopefully, yeah, it'll be interesting to see who wins that, obviously. Yeah, so just looking back, obviously for next week, coming into December, quite soon now, and obviously one thing we're looking forward to with the hour is obviously the famous advent calendar. So every day a special clip. So depending on what clip. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So it's very, very busy at the moment with the hours. Creating a lot of content. Every time we win, we have to make some special graphics. So I'm very busy at the moment because we're doing well.
We'll get some special podcast sets.
Yeah, so
we'll try and get more people, not just the three of us.
Yeah. Well, I think people would love listening to us all day, I think, hopefully. But yeah, as Morgan and Jake said, yeah, we are going to try and get a few more people on stream, talk about obviously esports, gaming, but also esports and education as well. That'd be interesting talk with Neil. But yeah, trying to get some special guests on as well to make it a lot of varied. Obviously, get some Valorant players on, Rocket players on. Maybe some special guests. But just thanks to Ross and Lagoleth again for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed the show, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye.